Before Sun Tzu, war was weirdly polite. It was a gentleman's game. You scheduled a battle, exchanged gifts, and didn't attack if the enemy was crossing a river. It was basically aggressive picnicking. But then the Zhou dynasty lost control. The spring and autumn period began. Sounds poetic, right? Nope, it was pure chaos. The rules were gone. The server moderation was non-existent. Imagine a battle royale lobby with 140 players. Everyone wanted to be the king. Big states ate small states. Small states ate tinier states. It was a dog-eat-dog world, and the dogs were hungry. War changed. No more chariots and honor. Now it was about infantry, iron weapons, and mass destruction. The goal shifted from show off to delete the enemy from existence. The problem? Nobody knew how to win efficiently. Generals were just spamming the attack button and hoping for the best. They needed a manual. They needed a cheat code. They needed a nerd. Enter Sun Wu, a noble from the state of Qi. While everyone else was playing team deathmatch, he was studying the game mechanics. He realized war wasn't about anger, it was about math. He didn't just want to fight, he wanted to solve war. So he wrote a manual. 13 chapters. It covered everything from spies to fire attack. It was basically the strategy guide for real life, but nobody in Qi listened to him. So like any smart professional, he switched companies. He moved to the state of Wu. Why? Because Wu was a scrappy startup kingdom looking for talent. The CEO of Wu was King Helu. He was ambitious and wanted to crush his neighbors, especially the giant state of Chu, but he lacked the software to run his hardware. Sun Tzu walked into the interview and dropped his mixtape, The 13 Chapters. Helu read it and said, "And this is fire." But it's just theory. Can you actually control an army, or are you just a keyboard warrior? King Helu said, "Okay, Mr. Theory, if your rules work on anyone, prove it. Train my 180 concubines into soldiers." It was a joke. He wanted to see the nerd fail. Sun Tzu said, "Bet." Also, he gathered the women. It was like trying to herd cats. They were giggling, fixing their hair, and treating the spears like selfie sticks. It was the least intimidating army in human history. Sun Tzu appointed the king's 2 favorite concubines as captains. They thought it was a game. They looked at Sun Tzu like he was a substitute teacher trying to teach calculus to a kindergarten class. Sun Tzu gave the first command, "Turn right." The women burst into laughter. They didn't move. They just kept chatting. Total disrespect. Most generals would yell. Sun Tzu stayed calm. He said, "If the orders are not clear, it is the general's fault." He explained the rules again very clearly. Right means right, left means left. Stop laughing. He beat the drums again. "Turn left." Again they laughed. They thought their boyfriend, the king, would protect them. They didn't realize they were no longer in a palace. They were in a war zone. Sun Tzu's face changed. He said, "If instructions are clear and soldiers still disobey, it is the officer's fault." He ordered the elimination of the 2 captains. The laughter stopped instantly. The king panicked. He sent a message, "Hey, don't kill my favorite girlfriends, I need them." Sun Tzu replied with the ultimate boss line, "A general on the battlefield is not bound by the king's orders," and he did it. He removed the king's favorites right there on the training ground. Brutal? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. Suddenly, everyone stopped giggling. Sun Tzu turned back to the king. "Your troops are ready. They will walk through fire and water for you." The king was sad about his girlfriends, but he knew one thing. This guy was the real deal. Hired. So, what's actually in the book? It's surprisingly short, only 13 chapters. It's not an encyclopedia, it's a cheat sheet. And the first rule of the book is simple: lie. Rule number 1, all warfare is based on deception. If you are strong, appear weak. If you are near, make them think you are far. Basically, be the biggest liar in the lobby. Sun Tzu loved catfishing. He taught generals to act like clueless noobs to lower the enemy's guard. Then when they get close, boom, surprise attack. It's classic hustling. Rule number 2, know your enemy and know yourself. Most generals guess Sun Tzu used data. He believed in spies. He basically wanted wall hacks to see exactly what the opponent was doing. He did the math. If you know the enemy and yourself, you win 100 battles. If you only know yourself, you win 50%. If you know neither, you're just feeding the enemy team. Rule number 3, supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Why waste arrows? The best way to win is to make the enemy rage quit before the game even starts. Don't attack the wall, attack the mine. Destroy their alliances, ruin their supply lines, disconnect their internet. If they are hungry and lonely, they will surrender. Work smarter, not harder. And finally, the famous combo for Rinkazan. Move as swift as the wind, stay silent as the forest, attack like fire, and stand firm like a mountain. It sounds like an anime power-up because it is. Speed is everything. Speed is the essence of war. Take advantage of the enemy's unpreparedness. Hit them before they even finish putting on their pants. Those were the theories: deception, intel, speed. King Helu asked, cool story, bro. But does it work? Sun Tzu smiled. Let's go find out. It was time to attack the superpower, Chu. It was time for the main event, the Battle of Boju. The odds were laughable. Wu had 30,000 troops, Chu had 200,000. It was like a chihuahua fighting a grizzly bear. But Sun Tzu didn't care about numbers, he cared about speed. Speed is the essence of war. He launched a surprise invasion. While Chu was still putting on their socks, Wu was already at their front door. He didn't just fight, he tired them out. He made the massive Chu army run back and forth, chasing ghosts. By the time they actually met, the Chu soldiers were exhausted, hungry, and wanted to go home. Then the decisive battle at Boju. Sun Tzu unleashed his fire tactic, aggression. The fresh, disciplined Wu troops smashed into the tired Chu army. It wasn't a battle, it was a bullying session. 5 battles, 5 victories. Sun Tzu chased them all the way to their capital city. He proved that size doesn't matter if you have a bigger brain. 30,000 defeated 200,000. Impossible. They captured the capital city. Ying, the underdog, had officially won the Super Bowl. But for one of Sun Tzu's colleagues, Wu Zixu, this wasn't just business, it was personal. Wu Zixu hated the Chu king for killing his family, so he dug up the king's corpse and whipped it 300 times. Historically accurate? Yes. A bit excessive? Maybe. But hey, revenge is a dish best served with a whip. But victory has a downside. The king got arrogant. The soldiers got lazy. Sun Tzu saw this and realized, my job here is done. If I stay, I'm probably next on the chopping block. So Sun Tzu did the smartest thing possible. He vanished. He retired before the king could get paranoid and kill him. He took his book, dropped the mic, and walked into the sunset. He came, he saw, he conquered, and he left. He proved his theories worked in real life, but his story didn't end there. In fact, it was just beginning. Sun Tzu died or retired, but his book didn't. It survived for 2,500 years. It went from bamboo scrolls to paperbacks to audiobooks narrated by dramatic British guys. First, it went to Japan. The samurai loved it. The legendary Takeda Shingen literally put Sun Tzu's quote, Furinkazan, on his war banner. He was basically a Sun Tzu fanboy. Then it hit the West. Legend says Napoleon read the first French translation. Maybe if he read the chapter on not invading Russia in winter, he wouldn't have lost, just saying. Today, it's required reading for the US Marine Corps and West Point. Generals study it to learn how to outsmart enemies with drones and satellites. The tech changed, but the psychology is exactly the same. But it's not just for soldiers, it's for CEOs. Business is war. Wall Street guys read it to destroy competitors. All marketing is based on deception. Wait, that actually explains a lot. Even the mob loves it. Tony Soprano quoted it. Why? Because organized crime is just war with better pasta. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Sun Tzu taught gangsters how to survive the streets. Sports coaches use it too. Football, basketball, soccer, because sports is just war without the dying part. If a coach tells you to attack where they are weak, he's basically quoting chapter 6. But here's the ultimate irony. The greatest book about wars is actually about peace. Sun Tzu didn't love killing. He knew war was expensive and terrible. His main point was avoid it if you can. So read the book. Use it to win your business deals, your sports games, or your arguments on Twitter. Or just subscribe to this channel. That's a winning strategy too. Thanks for watching.